Hey, it's Errol Collins. Time to get unplugged and go totally uncut with another nationally recognized comedian, Josh Blue. Oh, you know him. 7 years ago, we picked up the big V on Last Comic Standing. It quickly moved him from amateur to headliner. Now, Google his name, and nearly every website claims he got to start doing open mic sets while attending the Evergreen State College. Yeah, okay. Well, you know me. The art of comedy isn't a pool of water you just fall into. I'm digging and I'm getting the real man behind the face named Josh Blue. Did you have favorite Muppets?
Yeah, you know, I like Animal. I like the whole band, really. The Electric Teeth, Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem. Yeah.
They inspire you at all when you were growing up?
Yeah, you know, I look a lot like a Muppet, so...
Oh, my God.
Definitely have the movement like one. I cook like the Swedish chef, too, so...
Yeah, I need to get him up there.
I like the two old guys the best.
Oh, yeah, they were the best, man. I had a friend in college that was like those old guys. Just could heckle anything.
What made you discover that you were that funny guy?
You know, it started in high school, I think was when I realized it. Like, you know, when you're younger than that, you don't realize that everybody isn't funny, you know what I mean? And then I started getting to high school and people were like, you're funny all the time. And then once I got to then it was like, who are you? Like, who is this dude? And from there it was all downhill.
How did the girls react to that?
Yeah, it was nice, you know what I mean? Like in high school, I mean, I have cerebral palsy, so in high school that can be a very trying time just because being different is not necessarily a good thing, but then you get to college and being different is your asset, you know? And that was a bonus, you know? It was funny and different, and yeah, I made up for high school, let me tell you.
Yeah, the lead guitarist in our band had cerebral palsy, and
really?
He had every girl wrapped around his finger because he could move those fingers and they loved him.
Gucci goo.
So, first of all, I'm shocked that you actually exist.
Thank
because
you.
I saw so much of you on TV that I had to figure out, I've never seen this guy in person, and then here you sit.
Ta-da! I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Did you get anything being on that show?
I mean, the prize money was like $50,000 after winning, but after taxes it was $8.
So it's like working in radio then.
Yeah, pretty much. But what I got from it ultimately was a really awesome comedy career, and I still tour regularly. I mean, I do probably 6 shows a week.
Do you people watch? Is that where you get your comedy?
Yeah, I definitely get a lot of material from watching my fellow humans interact with other humans. It's just funny to me, and you know, it's just preconceived viewpoints of disability. I get a lot from that. People thinking that I may be mentally disabled because of the way I move, and that leaves a door wide open for me to like take advantage of you know, and make the situation mine, you know.
Do you think South Park stole your character when they created Timmy?
You know what's really funny is I was in college when those episodes. Remember Jimmy, the other one that came in, the stand-up motivational speaker? I was actually in college studying stand-up and motivational speaking, and that came out, and I was just sat there like slack-jawed, like, these guys just made fun of my whole thing I just studied for a couple of years. It's like, okay, I guess I'm not that special, but that really just opened my eyes, like, to what I didn't want to be viewed as, you know, that like those characters they're so funny, but it's like they're just making fun of them, you know, so it's like I don't want to be viewed as that, and that actually gave me a good anchoring point to steer from, you know, like, okay.
Now, there's no way that when I watch your videos on YouTube and stuff, and when I've seen your past performances on TV, I don't think that you're sharing a joke. I don't see that in you. What are you doing when you're up on the stage?
I mean, it's my ultimate goal to make people laugh, but I think my, you know, it's an interesting question, because I go up there and I have something to prove as far as disability goes. But I think what it is when you see my show, I am so comfortable with who I am as far as a disabled person that you don't have a right not to be, and I just take you to a place where you forget that I'm disabled almost. Because the material, I think, I know my material crushes. Like I said, I do 6 shows a week and get standing ovations, and it's not because it's PC or nice, I'm telling you raw stories about my life. And
do you ever react when somebody comes up and says, "God, you're good"? Do you ever just want to go, "I know"?
It's still nice to hear. I know I can do better. That's for sure.
How would you do it better?
I think it's just a growing process. Every time I think I figured something out in stand-up, then a new door opens. I'm like, man, this is even better than before, or I could have been saying it this way the whole time. That's what's great about stand-up. You can never learn everything.
And every city's different.
Right. Oh, yeah.
What are you expecting when you come to Charlotte?
I've been here a few times. I've had lots of fun. Last time I was here, I lit the roof on fire.
For real?
Yeah. I was like 20 minutes in. Was it the Friday Late Show or something? Friday Late Show, 20 minutes in, waitress comes on stage, hands me a folded note. And it was like, before I can even open it, she goes, "Building's on fire. We need to evacuate." I'm like, really? Why would you hand me a folded note for my cripple ass to try to unfold and read? And then, I calmly got everyone out of the building. I was like, okay, well, I guess we need to get out of here. And then firemen start coming in. And when we went outside, there was like 13 fire trucks, hoses going, and smoke billowing went out of the roof. I was like, all right, well, I did that, I guess. That's how hot my jokes are. Yeah, that was... So I don't really know what to expect when I'm here. I'm a little scared this time.
Have you ever been to a place that you still hold on to? Is there one particular night that really makes you go, will I ever get that again?
Sure. I mean, there's lots of awesome nights like that. Winning Last Comic Standing was one of those career highs that I kind of been chasing forever. I got that point pretty early in my career, so I have a lot of... striding to get back to that level, but I won that show 7 years ago, and like I said, my career is still, I'm rocking it everywhere I go, and it sounds cheesy, but I like to perform anywhere that people are there to laugh. It doesn't matter.
Now that Leno's going away, there's going to be a battle between Kimmel and NBC with Fallon. Which one do you go to?
Kimmel.
Would you really? Why?
I think he's just funnier. I think he's...
edgier, funnier, or just...
Yeah, I think edgier, funnier, and just more comfortable in his position, I think.
Would you ever chase something like that? If Kimmel came to you and said, "Look, man, I'm out next week. Can you fill in for me?"
Oh, I would love it, man. That would be a dream. Make a wish come true, man.
Who are you more a hero to? Those with cerebral palsy, or those that are sitting in the audience going, "That man is unbelievable"?
I know that I brought a lot of inspiration and courage to a lot of disability, like not just cerebral palsy, but all disability groups. I've had so many people like, "Oh, I've always wanted to do this or that. I never had the courage." And then I saw you on TV doing what you love to do, and it made me go chase my dream. And I think that's a cool feeling.
So it is a passion then.
Right. It's a lot of weight on a pothead's shoulders, but I've embraced it.
So you're saying you like California and Washington State a little bit better than most?
Well, I live in Colorado too, so I'm all good, brother. Exactly.
So what do you see for yourself in 15, 20 years? Do you find yourself, or actually, we can go farther than that. Are you Phyllis Diller? Are you going to last a long time?
My love for doing stand-up, like I said before, it's something that I'll never learn everything. Like, I can just see myself doing this for a long time. I would love to branch out and do more movies and TV and write a book and I want to do it all, but my ultimate passion is stand-up. I love doing it, and I can see doing this for a long time.
If you could do another job, what would it be?
That's a good question. Live on welfare? Is that good job, right?
What kind of a Walmart greeter would you be?
A bad one, and I wouldn't show up for work, man. Too stoned in the parking lot, man. Walmart. I don't think I'd stoop that low ever.
Who is your best person in the audience? Is it somebody that knows you or somebody that's just discovering you?
I mean, I prefer the people that are just discovering me because they come to a show with, well, it's like between not having an expectation and having a huge expectation. When you go to a show, you don't know who you're going to see. And then when I walk out and you're like, okay, here we go. And then if you come up to me after the show and go, I never saw you before, but you're my new favorite. I mean, I had that last night at the show. A couple came up after the show like, I've never seen you, but you're awesome. You're my favorite comic now. And to me, that's way better than someone who comes already knowing. I mean, that's great. I'm glad you know who I am, but
do you have a tester joke? In other words, when you go out there to test the depth of the thinking audience.
No, you know what? I don't. It's one of those things where it's just a feel. I feel it. Because I never write anything down.
Right.
For a couple reasons. One, I wouldn't be able to read it. Two, I've always looked at it this way. If you don't write it down, you can't mess it up.
Right.
Because if you write something down, then you can flub that. But if it's just coming off the top of your brain, you can't mess it up.
I mean, you're like a radio program director's dream, because they would tell us, man, we need you to sound like you're alive on the air. Don't sound like you're reading every sentence.
Right, exactly. And that's the key to doing stand-up, is making it sound like I've never said it before. And a lot of times, because I don't write it down, I haven't said it before, you know? And that's what keeps it fresh and hot, you know?
So you're spur of the moment.
Very.
Right off the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be tough.
It's all I've ever done or known, so I don't know.
How did your friends put up with you kind of making fun of them or popping a joke like that? Or did they depend on you to be their high? I mean, this is before Red Bull.
Right. Yeah, you know, I definitely, that's one of my favorite things, is trash talking buddies and having fun. And, you know, if you get into a verbal match with me, you're probably going to lose usually, you know. But my best friends are the ones that can slam me back just as hard, you know.
Could you ever pull off what Carol Burnett used to do, where she would just light up the audience and just take questions?
Oh, I've done that. I do that a lot, yeah. I do that a lot.
What is that like as a performer?
That's ultimately working without a net, you know, because you open up to a room full of people that you have no idea what they're going to ask you. They can ask you anything, and they do ask you anything. And that's why I love it, is because I have to have the right answer, and usually it just comes out. Boom. It's fun.
When you're up on stage and you got the heckler, how do you handle the heckler?
Again, I kind of like hecklers. I do, because it, again, shows you that I'm not doing a script. I'm not doing something that, I mean, you say something and I will fire back pretty damn quick.
I love that stuff.
And I love it. To me, it just makes me feel great when, and again, the audience, they react best to that. Like, they eat it up when you can slam somebody right in the moment, and people are like, man, I'm gonna shut up because I know he could rip me apart, you know. I love that kind of fear in people's eyes. I get people scared to get up to go to the bathroom, you know.
Where are you going?
Yeah, I can see. I got cerebral palsy. I'm not blind.
If you could pick the first 5 rows, who would you want in that row?
First 5 rows?
5 rows in a comedy club.
Who would I want to see my show?
Or basically, what kind of a person would you like in the audience? Let's go that angle first.
Again, anyone. It sounds cheesy, but I would be anyone who wants to laugh and to hear my stuff. Because I feel like my crowds are usually pretty diverse. Like, it's a weird swath of America. You know, it's like old people and African American people and Asian people, Mexican. It's anybody, you know. And it's. I like the fact that my comedy is accessible to that many different people. You know, it's not just one. This is my demographic. My demographic is anybody who likes to laugh.
Has anybody walked away offended or anything?
Oh, I've definitely had people that, but usually what it is people with, like, people go, oh, I have a friend in a wheelchair, and I think what you're saying is offensive. And I'm like, well, why don't you ask your friend in the wheelchair what they think? Because I'm pretty sure they agree with everything I'm saying up here. And that usually, oh, okay, good point. You know what I mean? It's I'm just talking from my personal experiences as a disabled person. My whole show isn't about disability, but it's definitely coming from a viewpoint of someone with a disability. I can't avoid that. I've tried to do it from a fat black woman point of view, and it didn't work out so well.
Could you character role when you were talking about being on TV shows and movies and stuff like that? Could you do characters, or would you let them build a character around you like they do with Robin Williams?
I probably prefer they built one around me, but I've done acting, I've done stuff like that. The only difficult part is no matter how good of an actor I am, I can't unact having cerebral palsy. So that's why I thought if I was like on Saturday Night Live, it'd be funny, like, oh, you're very good, but we notice all your characters have cerebral palsy. Like, oh, yeah.
Who would you put, if there's somebody famous that you know, and who would you like to have give me two people that you would love to watch your show?
Dave Chappelle would be one, and I'm a huge Chris Rock fan too. Yeah. I think I'd love to. I think I'd love to have them there. If they weren't laughing, then I would hate to have them there. But
so when you're not being you up on stage, who are you?
I'm a dad. I have 2 kids at home, and I'm a family man. My wife, they're all in Denver. So when I get home, I'm daddy. I got a 3 and a 5-year-old. So I had to think about that for a second.
Well, you're from Colorado.
Yeah, it's foggy.
Yeah. You like being a dad?
I love it. It's the best thing I've ever done. Ever since I was a kid, What do you want to be when you grow up? A dad. Yeah. I'm not so sure about the husband part, but, I love my wife and all, but let a player play. Come on.
Do you see anything funny happening with the kids or anything that you saw in yourself at that age?
As far as like technologies have gone, things are so different from when I was a kid. But you still see them growing and lighting up on learning. And this is very funny. I found my son loves playing iPad games to the point where me and my wife have to hide the iPad. But he can find it like a drug sniffing dog. I don't know, find it and hide and play somewhere. I found him. He's playing an air hockey game on the iPad, but he's playing 2-player mode. So basically he was playing against nobody, and the score was 7-3. He was losing. It's like, God, come on, man.
Do you podcast or anything like that?
I have been working on one. It's not out yet, but my podcast is called The People You Meet in the Middle Seat. And basically, I interview the poor bastard sitting in the seat next to me on the airplane.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
And you expect that coming up real soon? Or is there a website it'll be on? Or?
JoshBlue.com is my website. It'll be up there. And I'm on Facebook, Josh Blue fan page. Mm-hmm. And then Twitter also is Josh Blue Comedy. I always tell people to follow me on Twitter because every 3-word tweet that I do takes me 45 minutes to type in the phone. It's a lot of deleting.
Do you like being Josh Blue?
I do, man. It's been fun, and I feel like I'm getting in a point where I'm more comfortable in my skin and being a disabled person and a spokesperson for disability.
You seem to be the type of personality that if a up-and-coming comedian were to come up to you, you would allow them to steal a piece of your art. Am I reading you right? In other words, meaning what you put into the business, that they could take it to the next level.
Sure. I would definitely given guidance to a lot of up-and-coming comics. Usually my advice is, don't bother, I got this covered. But no, the Denver comedy scene is a very close-knit community as far as comedy scenes go, and we all help each other there, which is great. And, if you got questions for me, I'm happy to answer.
What is it like to go from amateur night to now you're the headliner? That journey has got to be worth a book somewhere.
Yeah, it's definitely a trip, man. It's I love it. It's a weird. When you're starting out, I got to open for Chappelle and open for all these people, and now as a headliner, I only get to hang out with new comics. I never get to be around any peers, which is kind of a downer. Like I love being around other funny, amazing people. Like I'm actually excited. Next weekend I'm opening for Ron White in Denver, so that'll be cool to get to work with someone that's actually talented and funny.
Hell, he'll be up there with his alcohol and cigar, and you're gonna have to figure out which one's more important.
Exactly. I think it's gonna be fun. I want to do a little spoof of me with a cigar and a drink, and like spilling the drink everywhere, like burning my face with the cigar. Because you really shouldn't hold a cigar with a cerebral palsy hand. It's not a good call.
Josh Blue, the Comedy Zone this weekend. Thank you so much for coming by.
My pleasure, man.
Thank you so much. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Josh Blue, the Comedy Zone this weekend. Get your tickets now. CLTComedyZone.com. That's CLTComedyZone.com.